Welcome to Liverpool Center News. Bringing you the latest updates. Don't miss our daily news updates to stay connected with the latest Liverpool news. Liverpool to advance work for signings, want £308,000 a year midfielder. After being appointed as the new manager of Liverpool in the summer, Arne Slot didn't make many new additions to strengthen the pre-existing squad. However, it was clear that the Reds were keen on signing a new midfielder, and Martin Zubimendi emerged as their primary option. But they eventually failed to strengthen the engine room before the deadline. Now, on TBR Football, journalist Graham Bailey claims that the Anfield side are expected to advance the groundwork to make new signings in January and are willing to finally hire a new midfielder. Roma starlet Nicolo Pizzoli is on the radar of Liverpool, and they are keeping a close eye on his development before making a potential swoop next year. The 20-year-old currently earns around £308,000 per annum in salary at Stadio Olimpico, and he will enter the final 18 months of his existing deal at the turn of the new year. So, if Giallorossi do not extend his stay by signing a new deal, they might be open to letting him leave in January or next summer to avoid losing him for free in 2026. Pizzoli is predominantly a CM but is also capable of playing in the number 10 role. The youngster has made 3 starts for Roma in Serie A thus far this term and scored his first goal in the 2-1 victory over Venezia last month. Moreover, despite playing very little senior football in his career, Pizzoli was called up by Italy manager Luciano Spalletti in the last international break to play, and he made his debut for the Azzurri against the Netherlands in a Nations League encounter. In your opinion, should Liverpool sign Nicolo Pizzoli to strengthen the midfield? Arne Slot gives baffling Federico Chiesa injury update. Arne Slot has given a major new update on Federico Chiesa's latest injury. The Italian has arrived at Liverpool with high hopes in the summer, but he has rarely featured for the Dutchman. Chiesa has made just a single start for Liverpool, coming against West Ham United in the League Cup. In that impressive cameo, the winger managed to grab his first assist for the Reds, but he is yet to make a subsequent appearance since then. Slot revealed Chiesa had been struggling with an injury but that he expected him to return after the international break earlier this month. Slot reveals shock Chiesa injury update. However, despite expectations of a potential return, Chiesa has continued to be sidelined and was not included in Liverpool's squad to face Chelsea. Now looking ahead to the Reds' trip to RB Leipzig in the Champions League, Slot was questioned about the Italian's absence, and the Liverpool head coach revealed he has been suffering with a persistent issue due to his lack of match fitness. "I think it's always difficult with injuries to see where they are after a few days," Slot told reporters in his press conference. Federico, it's more simple, he missed pre-season, going to a league that is a higher intensity than Serie A. That makes it difficult for him to where the rest of the team is at. It has to do with him missing the entire pre-season. It is difficult to build up players, Slot continued. But the Liverpool head coach did reiterate that Chiesa remains in his plans long term. "Big disappointment with him to be in and out, so we feel sorry for him, but he signed a long-term contract. It seems there is no set deadline on when the Italian would be coming back for Liverpool. His issue remains a little baffling considering we expected him to be back by now. But it seems that his persistent injury problems remain. That will be a huge concern for the Reds, given Chiesa arrived with a worrying injury record. Liverpool will hope this will not become a pattern." Darwin Núñez has really made Declan Rice look shocking in a bizarre stat thrown up by the Premier League. Darwin Núñez seriously caught the eye against Chelsea on Sunday. The Uruguayan played a lot more football than initially planned, given Diogo Jota started the fixture. But a rib injury for the Portugal striker brought Núñez into the fray. The number 9 got about the pitch incredibly well, and while he didn't end up with any chances of his own, he was a defensive force. 3 tackles won is an incredible feat for any striker, let alone in a big fixture. But Núñez was eager to race back at all times, winning a couple right on the edge of Reds' box. Liverpool supporters are still waiting for updates on the severity of Diogo Jota's injury, which forced him off during the 2-1 victory over Chelsea. The Reds remain top of the Premier League table, with Mohamed Salah and Curtis Jones finding the back of the net to seal the win against the London side. However, during the first half, Diogo Jota was forced off after being brought down by Tosin Adarabioyo near the halfway line. The forward was substituted after 30 minutes, with Darwin Núñez taking his place. Jota is undergoing an evaluation by Liverpool's medical team, but Arne Slot is preparing for the likelihood that he will miss Wednesday's Champions League clash against RB Leipzig. Liverpool's training session for their UEFA Champions League trip to RB Leipzig provided a few clues to who will be in Arne Slot's matchday squad. Although the absence of prolific goalscorer Diogo Jota and summer signing Federico Chiesa will have worried fans who were watching the club's official live stream on YouTube, there were plenty of positives to be picked up. For example, Alexis Mac Allister was fully involved, despite his recent fitness issues, and the Argentinian could return to the starting lineup in East Germany after making only a cameo appearance as a substitute in Sunday's gritty 2-1 win over Chelsea. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk also looked sharp as he trained in front of the cameras for the first time since confirming negotiations over his new contract are now in progress. But it's a player at the other end of his career who supporters will have been buzzing to see on the pitch at the AXA training centre. Arne Slot has made a surprise inclusion to his travelling squad against RB Leipzig. Liverpool are set to travel to Germany in their next game in the Champions League and will face a familiar foe.